Today I'm having a look around the Moody DS45. It's 45 feet long, as the title suggests, and the DS stands for Decksalon, which you can already see behind me as I'm sitting in the cockpit already. And the Decksalon is what makes possible what we like to call one-level living, but we will come to that a little later. Because of its length, the Moody DS45 is perfect for a couple. They can both sail together, or one person can also sail it by themselves, but we will see that a little later on when we are going to have a look at the helmsman's seats. As you can see where I'm sitting now in the cockpit, there's much more room than for just two people, so easily 4 people would fit on this sofa, and we have the same amount of sofa space on the other side of the boat. Depending on what you decide to have for your cabin concept, it would be possible to have up to 6 beds in the boat, so even for longer trips, for 6 people, that would definitely be very comfortable, and they would all have a seat up here in the cockpit. You can see there's a little table in the middle here with the handrails, so always a place to hold on to, even if there's some movement. But we can also just pop up the sides, and then we will have a full-size table. This works on the other side, of course, as well. And just as easily, I can also push it back down, and then it is out of the way. What the owners of this particular boat have decided for is an extra fridge out here in the cockpit. So on the side of the table, right before we go into the saloon area, there's an extra little fridge. So when you're sitting out here, you can have your cold beer or wine just ready inside the table. Just as much as we need the place for sitting, we also need some space for storing our things. So what we can do is we just open up one of the benches. For that, I just remove the cushions. And below is a big storage space. The flap will stay open, so it doesn't fall down when I'm down there. And as you can see, there's a lot of room down there. I would even fit in. And the owners of this boat have decided to put another extra fridge down there. So a lot of fridge space. You can of course also decide to have your washing machine down there, or just an empty space for everything that you need to store that you don't want lying around in your cockpit area. As you can see, I can easily fit into this big storage space here. This is the big fridge. And I would imagine if I'm out sailing for a few weeks or maybe even some months, this is the perfect place to store some extra vegetables or whatever you need on your boat in terms of sustenance, because of course after a while you really crave fresh fruit, and that is where you can store it. I'm sitting at the starboard helmsman position now. Starboard because we also have one on port side. As I said before, it's the perfect boat for a couple, so it's easy to navigate on both helms positions at the same time, or also with just one person. It's rather easy to sail the boat. We will see a couple of things that makes it easier for one person to navigate the boat by itself. But as you can see right here, everything that I need is right next to the helm's position. So I have my steering wheel, of course. This one is covered in leather, but you can also go for a more sporty look. Then it would be a carbon steering wheel. That's an option that you have. Also, you can, of course, decide on the colors and all different materials on board. That's completely up to you, so you can decide what kind of look you want your boat to have. Everything I need is right here. I have the engine control. I have the control of my bow and aft thrusters. I have my compass right here. Up above me, I have a panel that shows me all the information about wind, water depth, etc. That's up here. Then if I have an autopilot, that's controllable from up here as well. So you can see everything that I need for navigation is right next to me. And everything that when it comes to the sail is also accessible quite easily. So right next to the helm's position, I have a big winch. I have all the lines that come back here. There's no clutter around. We will see on the other side where those lines come from, because they come out here. They look very tidy, and I can even store all the lines down here in the little compartment, so they're not flying around, nobody is tripping over them. You will see later that inside the saloon we will have a big navigation table as well, but if you decide to have an electronic chart plotter, that would be an option to have it installed right here. So on this middle table in the cockpit, so it will be easily visible from both helmsman's positions. So this is an option, and below we can have the radio as well. That's of course important as well in case of distress, that it's easily reachable from both helmsman's positions as well. Right between the two helmsman's positions, this is right in the back of the boat, we have this big flap in the bottom that we can open up. It opens to the side here, and it will also stay open so it doesn't fall down by itself. You can see there's a big storage area beneath it, and in the back there, that's our bathing platform. I won't put it down now because we're still in the marina, but it's really easy. I can show you the system behind it. It's basically just this rope. It's connected to the pulley up here, and that divides your strength, so it makes it rather easy to put down the entire bathing platform with just one person, and it's just as easy to pull it back up as well. So that's down here, and you can use the storage space for everything that you need. If it's your dinghy or your barbecue equipment, everything can be stored here and is easily accessible right from the cockpit area. As you can see, above our cockpit area, we have these fixed roofs on both sides. They hold the sunroof that you can decide to have, so that can be pulled down in the middle. If it's sunnier than today, we can pull down the sunroof to have a nice shady area down here. And we can also decide to install an extra bimini that can be pushed down all the way back, so that you can have shade as well on the helmsman's seats. On the way to the bow of our Moody DS45, I noticed that the entire sidewalk here is rather wide, so I don't have to step over my own feet. And there's only this tiny little step here. We actually need that because below we have the openings for our diesel tank. So the fuel tank is below. It's filled with up to 640 liters of diesel fuel and is responsible for the engine, which has 107 horsepower. So it's rather a lot of power if you decide to not go for the sail but for the engine for once. I told you that the sidewalk is really flat, just this one step within it, but there's actually a little flow in here. So if water would come in here, it would just flow off the back of our boat. But that would be highly unusual because you can see we have a fixed sea rail to my right, and below there's a fixed wall as well. So the possibility that water actually comes in is rather low, and of course it makes a lot for the safety of the entire sidewalk. So even for children or the elderly that like to hold on a bit more, this makes it rather safe to move along the entire boat. This is a place where I usually don't sit. I'm sitting on the roof of our Decksalonyacht just to show you that we have some solar panels on here. So this is nothing that is usually on this boat, but if you decide to have it, your dealer will make everything possible. So just depending on what you need and what you want, just talk to the dealer and they will tell you what's possible. Even if you want to be a bit ecologically friendly, then those solar panels are a real good option for you. I'm making my way to the foredeck of our Moody DS45. You can see I'm standing right next to the mast. It's almost 22 meters high, and it supports a complete total sail area of more than 106 square meters. So this is the foredeck of our boat. You can see in front of me this little system here. It's called a self-tacking jib. So it's a system that tacks the foresail automatically. And that is one part that makes sailing this boat by one person alone rather easy, because you don't have to walk around so much. And as promised before, we can now see where those beautifully stored lines all come from. So they come out at the helmsman position, all stored and nicely neat in one line, and that's where they are stored. So they go down into the deck just below me and are led back to the helmsman position where they come out. I've made it almost to the bow of our boat. As you can see next to me, the entire foredeck basically consists of windows. So it's a lot of skylights, and right now the sun is coming out. So downstairs in the master cabin, as you will see later on, there's a lot of natural light, and that's where it comes from. So it's all up here, and all the light that we have, whether it's sunny or rainy, will come from up here. I have opened the anchor locker right in the bow of our boat. You can see the anchor is below me, and it's controlled by an electrical anchor winch. So there's no need for heavy lifting to do yourself. It's all done electronically on the push of a button. And when I open up this side, just in case you're wondering, this is where the electrical winch is. So it's safe from splash water. Any seawater that comes into the anchor area will not affect the electronics over there. So I've made my way from the very back to the very bow of our boat, and now I'm excited to see what's down here in our saloon. Come on. The first thing that I notice when I come in, or rather that I step on, is this flap beneath my feet. When I open it up, it opens towards our engine room. You can see the flap opens by itself and stays up here, and I can go down and take care of everything that I need that has to do with the engine. So all the maintenance work can be done from inside the saloon. So I'm dry, I'm warm, and then I can take care of everything. There's also a lot of room down there to navigate, so you can check the battery there as well, and I will just show you how big it is. So when I'm sitting down here, the engine is right next to me. When I go back towards the aft of our boat, I can also reach the battery. I can see all different kinds of tanks. I see the water tank, for example, so all kinds of maintenance can be done from down here. This is the pantry. It's situated inside the saloon, but it can also be chosen to put downstairs. So then it would make this area up here a rather big sofa area, and down the stairs the pantry would be on the side of the boat. Right here though we have it on the upper floor, so inside the deck saloon. As you can see in here we have a lot of options to put whatever you need in your kitchen. So right here we have a microwave, for example, we have a dishwasher. These are all options that you can go for if you decide you want that on your boat. We have a large worktop here, as you can see. One part of it here can open up, and then we have the stove below, we have the oven, we have a handrail here as well, so even while cooking, if there's some waves outside, you're still safe while you're standing in the kitchen. There's also a handrail up here, by the way. Then continuing along the worktop, we can open up in the back here. This is the fridge. There's a second entrance to the fridge down here. So for example, all the heavy stuff can go in the bottom, like all the bottles, for example, then you don't have to lift them up all from here. Next to it, we can open up the worktop as well, and we have the sink down below. And everything is hidden away when we don't need it, so a lot of room to spread out. Even if you don't really cook, if you only prepare something cold, you have a lot of room to put everything. Next to the oven down here, we have a lot of storage space up here as well. In the back, there is also something to put your spices, your oil, whatever you need. And it doesn't stop here. At the end of the pantry, we can open up this. There's the garbage bin inside here. And as it's well hidden, all the smells and everything will just stay back there, so we don't have to see it. And even now the pantry is not done. We continue on the other side of our boat. What I really like is the spice rack that can be pulled out here. So everything has its right place, very neat and tidy. More storage space. And we even can install an additional fridge. So on this boat, the owners have decided that they want a lot of fridge space, so maybe it's planned for circumnavigation or just very long trips, so they can be prepared and have everything in their fridges all around the boat. So that is the pantry area. You can see a lot of room, and there's all the amenities that you need. You can put in there. If it's a microwave or just a normal stove, that's completely up to you. Another very convenient piece of furniture I found right next to the extended galley here. I can just open up the middle of the table, and there's a wine rack sliding out. Even a little space up here, so the perfect place to store your peanuts and your chips and maybe the wine bottles down there, in case that you ever get your family or friends over to visit. As you can see, the sofa will easily fit 4 to 5 people, I would guess, that can sit comfortably here. Right now this area is rather open, but I can also decide to pull over the table, just open it up like this, and now I have a full-size table, and everybody who's sitting here will have a spot at the table as well. But of course, if I want the more open style, I will just pull it back just as easily and it's gone again. It's the perfect place for playing card games or anything that involves dice maybe, because nothing can fall down the table even if there is some movement. Now you can see I only have the sofa area here. If I decide to have the galley downstairs, of course we would have more sofa area on the other side of the boat. But in this case, the owners have opted for some additional seating that's just across from here. And we can take these little stools, now they're stored nicely right next to the table, and then we can just put them back to sit comfortably at the table. And what's very convenient is that I can also open them up and have even more storage space inside the little stools here. I'm sitting in the corner of the deck saloon now. As you can see, there's a lot of light around me. For example, I have the little reading lights here. They can also be changed to the red light. That's easier for the eyes if you want to come up here to take a look at your sea charts, for example, during the night. Then that's easier to read and doesn't disturb your eyes so much. There is the little lights in the ceiling. They are very neat as well because I can just change them to point exactly where I want it. So there's really nice atmospheric lighting here, and I can change everything so that the light is exactly where I want it. Right next to the light you can see a big speaker. This one is just for music, but you can decide on the entire entertainment package that you want inside your boat. So if you only want a radio or a CD, DVD player, or also a TV, that's also possible. The TV could be installed right here, then it would be retractable. So just on the push of a button, it would just go down into the storage space here and just be out of the way unless you need it. Right here we don't have a TV installed. Instead I can open it up to have a storage area right next to the sofa. This is still empty, but I can also put in little sticks of wood to have a glass storage so that my glasses don't fall out, don't get broken. So this can be done here as well. This is the port side of our deck saloon. You can see I'm sitting at the navigation table. Everything that I need is right here, so if I decide to not sail but use the engine to come forward, then I have everything that I need here. All the panels on my sea charts will be on here. I have a radio, everything to the autopilot or the panel that shows me the water depth or the direction and strength of the wind. Everything can be controlled from here, and down below I also have the engine control. I can open up this desk area, so if I don't need my paper sea charts, I can just store them away and they're not lying around the saloon. From here I have a perfect view everywhere, so I have a 360-degree view. I can see towards the bow of our boat. I can see everything that's happening on the outer deck as well. A lot of natural light coming in. I can open the flap in the window in the front, and there's also some behind me here. So I can also create a cross breeze if I want some fresh air in here while working. When it's really sunny, I can pull down the blinds here so I'm not blinded by the sunlight. But now, right now it's raining outside, and I can say I'm very comfortable in here. It's very warm. We have the heating and the air conditioning, so no matter in which destination you're going, everything will be fine. In here you're safe from the rain, safe from the sun, so whatever the weather's doing outside, you don't have to mind too much while you're in here. You notice that in here in the saloon, all the furniture is made of mahogany wood, so it's a really nice red color, and I'm sitting on the light cream colored cushions. This is completely up to you, so if you would choose a lighter wood or dark cushions or leather cushions, whatever you want, even the floorboards can be adjusted to fit to your personal taste, so your boat will be exactly your boat. So whatever you decide can be done. Just talk to your dealer about it and they can make everything nice so it's perfect for you and your own taste. Just below the navigator's seat I found 2 more drawers, so there's even more storage space every space that we have is used for storing our stuff, so nothing is lying around. While going downstairs into the basement, so to say, towards our cabins, I can see this panel here. This is basically our fuse box. So everything that I have to check, I can check here. I don't need to crawl around anywhere, push any weird buttons. Everything is here, well lit, and very easily accessible from the staircase. So for example, I can turn on and off the air condition, the water maker, all the different electronic devices that I have in the kitchen, the dishwasher, we have the washing machine, the dryer if you have one. This is all up here. Then I have the light switches. I have this control panel here that controls the outside lights, for example up on the mast, or the air conditioning, or the electrical anchor winches. All that kind of stuff is controlled from here. I also have a panel down here that shows me all the information I need to know about my engine. So for example, how low the battery is, or how full the water tank or the fuel tank is. Everything can be checked here without having to go downstairs into the basement to check everything. I'm sitting in the starboard guest cabin now. As you can see, there's 2 beds in here, so it's a twin bed, but I can easily transform it into a double bed. I have this extra cushion here I can just put down here, and then it's a full mattress. We have storage around the bed. There's 2 little cupboards on that side, and we have the big wardrobe cupboard up here. So enough space, I would imagine, for everything that you need. There are 2 little windows, one up here and one here. There's not too much light coming in right now because we're in the marina and there's another boat docked right next to us, so that takes a bit of the light away. But as you can see, it's rather comfortable. We have the same wooden tops that we had upstairs. If you would prefer a complete double bed, that is also possible. That can be done, and then there would be a bit more storage space even. And there's other options as well, depending on how many different kinds of cabins you want. There's a lot of different options, so just talk to your dealer there, decide how many beds you want on your boat, and then we will have a look around the other side, the port side of our boat, in a minute, and I can show you what else can be done. We are midships here, so this might just be the calmest point in the boat, so if there is some wave movement outside, this is the place to be where you won't feel that much of it. This is the wardrobe that we have in the guest cabin. You can see it's really big. It goes on for a while. We can hang everything that we need. We also have a little space down there for shoes, etc. And if you put some extra boxes, it's definitely a big wardrobe to have in the guest cabin. Right across the hall from our guest cabin, I'm in another cabin space. On this boat, the owners have decided to put an office area. So I have a writing desk here that I can even open up to put all my desk equipment. And as you can see, the entire wall is full of storage space. So I can open up pretty much every single pane and have the storage behind it. Instead of an office space, you can also use this area to have another cabin, even a twin cabin or a double cabin, just a big storage area. Or of course, if you prefer, the galley down here and instead have more sofa space upstairs in the saloon, that would be the place for the galley as well. Right as it is right now, as the office space, I also have more storage area behind me. So that's a big storage for everything that you don't want lying around. No windows there, only a storage space, but really convenient as well. This is the guest bathroom. It's accessible from the downstairs corridor. You can see it has everything that one needs. There's a lot of headroom, so I can stand upright, and even a taller person can do that. We have a little skylight here. We can also close it up with the blinds if we need our privacy. There's a sink area. We have a mirror behind the door, and every space that is not needed otherwise is made into a storage area. So we have a lot of storage behind the sink to put all our toiletries and whatever we need. We have a toilet here as well. It has an electric flush system, and it is separate from the shower, so it doesn't have to shower with you when you're in the shower. Speaking of the shower, this is it. It has a real shower head, and as you can see, I can also stand upright, so no need for me to crouch down in the shower. And we have a door here that we can close up. So as I mentioned before, when you're in the shower, you don't have to put everything else underwater in the bathroom. It is really just a shower area. I'm sitting in the master cabin now. As you can see, it is very much light in here. A lot of natural light, even though we're in the, well, lowest part, you could say, of our boat. But we have a massive skylight up there. One part we can also open. We can also open the little windows on both sides, so we can get some fresh air down here as well. And there's even more windows down at the bottom, so a lot of natural light, as you can see. It's a very large double bed that we have, almost 2 meters long and also rather wide, so a lot of room for 2 people. We have massive storage space down here. Along the walls we have different cupboards, we have a big wardrobe cupboards as well, and what I particularly like is the area around the headboard. So the headboard itself looks very elegant. It's this very light leather, and also around the walls we have a material that feels kind of like satin, so it's very nice indeed. And we have the little reading lights above the headboard as well. So all in all, it looks very elegant in here, and of course that is helped by all the natural light. As you can see, there's a lot of room above me, so also in here we have standing height, so it's not a problem even for tall people to stand here. And another really nice thing about the master cabin is that it has an ensuite bathroom, so that's right next to us, accessible directly from the bedroom. While I'm leaving the master cabin for the ensuite bathroom, I have also found another neat storage space. It's below the bed. It's a huge drawer, so all your extra sheets can be put down here, or your shoes, so they're nicely out of the way, nobody trips over them, and nobody even sees that the storage is here. This is the ensuite bathroom. It's directly accessible from the master bedroom. And it basically looks like the guest bathroom that we have seen earlier. It's just a bit more room and of course directly accessible. So you don't have to go outside in the area there. You can just go inside from your bathroom. We also have a sink. We have a mirror right above the sink, which I always like a lot. And as we had before, a lot of storage area all around the bathroom. Here as well we have the toilet in the separate sink area, so the shower is back there and it is nicely put away, so there's a door there that we don't flood everything else. So this was the tour of our Moody DS45. I hope you enjoyed it. As you have seen, it's the perfect boat for a couple or even for a few more people, especially if you're planning some blue water cruising and be away for a couple of weeks or months. Everything that you have seen today was just an option of what your boat could look like. So whatever you decide to do in terms of colors or materials, just talk to your dealer. There will be one in your area, and they can tell you exactly what's possible for your boat to truly be your boat and unique in that way. One of those can be yours from less than 450,000 euros, but again, talk to one of your dealers and then they will tell you exactly what's possible. I hope you enjoyed the tour today and talk to you soon.